Alright, welcome to some LSD Dream Emulator, if I can talk right today. Um, this game's trippy, and it's running at 30 frames per second. It's a really old, weird PS1 game, but I always wanted to do an episode on this. I don't really plan on probably doing full episodes on this. I don't know, maybe, but yeah. Anyways, as we explore this game, um, I do want to say that I'm just gonna be talking about random stuff, and maybe I get very stunned in this game because I have played a little bit of this before, but I usually don't record, and I know there's always something random that happens in this game, so yeah. But I thought this video too to maybe just get some thoughts off my mind and stuff like that. So, well, let me teleport to a place over here. Anyways, so I was thinking, right, about basically, recently I've been playing different types of video games, because usually I just play first-person shooters, but I haven't really been enjoying the first-person shooter genre as much. There hasn't really been a game that's really, how would I say it, really that good in the first-person aspect. And that can even be multiplayer-wise. Like when it comes to PvP shooters, it seems, everybody has their different opinions, but, recently the old games like Call of Duty and stuff just don't necessarily hit the same as they used to back in the old days of Xbox 360 and PS3. Hell, maybe even for some PC players, because I wasn't there for back then on the PC side. I was mostly console. I know the PC had already had some, like, I remember playing on my uncle's computer, and it had some like exclusive camos that we didn't get. Our, I think, console players, or maybe it was just PC and Xbox at the time, didn't get for about years. But yeah, it hasn't, other than like Fortnite and stuff, which that's not really first person, there really hasn't been that much of a great FPS game. So what I've been doing lately is, I had Xbox Game Pass because me and my friend were playing a little bit of GTA at the time. And I don't really own an Xbox, I have a computer, so I was just cloud streaming and we would play GTA, but I took that off. So, now with not really much to play, I was looking, and I seen how they had the game Resident Evil. Now, I have, like, played Resident Evil, like, here and there, but not, like, serious runs, you could per se. Kind of more in a way, like, the best way I can explain it, basically, sorry, I'm super bad at talking, I'm doing this to get better. Way back in the day, one of my family members had an iPhone, and they had Resident Evil on it. I think it was like an older iPhone, but I don't know what Resident Evil it was. It was like a demo, but it was pretty good. And I remember playing it, and I didn't know it was Resident Evil at the time, but but I just kind of played it. I didn't really pay attention to stuff as a kid. That's something I kind of regret, but yeah, so, or I just kind of forgot it was Resident Evil, I guess. But I seen Resident Evil 2 remake. Now I played the demo on the 4 when it first came out during the time of 2019. I was still on console and stuff, so I pretty much played that, you know, and I also played 3 and stuff, but I never actually had money to buy the game because I'm not like, it took me years to even get a PC or anything really, and this is like probably, I was probably lucky to even have a computer, the computer I do, which I appreciate. Like, yeah, I understand there's more powerful computers, and my computer might be kind of, you know, being out-spec'd as the years go on, but I'm just happy to have a computer that's actually able to play AAA games and stuff like that. But that basically I'm sorry, that pretty much gets me to what I was saying. Sorry if I'm messing up words. I ended up downloading Resident Evil 2. And, at first, I was pretty bad at the game because, like I said, I never played Resident Evil seriously. So, I remember I used up all my ammo in the RPD station. For some of you guys who play, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people play Resident Evil. I don't really need to explain how the gameplay is, but, you know you're very resource heavy in that game. So, my first playthrough was pretty bad. I was trying to find Lion Mandela. Is that even how you say that? Lion code or whatever the hell that is, and you got that lion, that statue, and then you had that unicorn, and I remember that took me hours. And the worst thing I did was basically not put in the codes. Like, pretty much, instead of doing, like, okay, so the best way you should probably do it when playing Resident Evil, for people should know, you put in the code and you go fight the boss, the first boss, right? Well, I didn't do that. I decided that I think, if I can remember correctly, I think I summoned a tyrant first, and that made things 10 times harder because you don't have to get the tyrant, but you know the tyrant's unkillable, so it was mostly me running around from the tyrant and me barely, like, figuring out stuff. So, you know, news playthrough, right? First playthrough, it's not always going to be too great. Later on though, you know, I end up beating the game. I probably have like the worst timing, right? And I'm just happy I beat the game though. It was a very good game. Like, it was probably one of the best games. And I know I'm super late, but it's probably one of the best games I played. And I know Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 4 are still games I need to pick up. I was hoping even to play Resident Evil 1, but I'm not really big on camera angles, because I think Resident Evil 1's still like that old PS1. Oh, that's kind of ironic because I'm playing this game right now, which is the PS1 game. But it's still that little bit of that like old camera angle that old games like Silent Hill used to have, and Resident Evil did too. So I'm not really a big fan of that. It's kind of hard to aim and stuff, although I know that's the OG, and there's a lot of content too within those games that were cut out of their remakes. Although Resident Evil 2 remake ain't out yet, but I know Silent Hill remake ain't out yet, but I was actually thinking of kind of playing the original Resident Evil. I know there's a PC port, original too, because I think they changed some things, and it's kind of different than the remake. But that ain't the point, right? So, anyways, I beat the game, and I'm all happy. But then I learned that if you beat the game under, like, before 2 minutes, depending on which character, because you got Claire's run, Dirt scenario, and then you have, Leon's, which is the first run, right? So, I end up beating Claire's run a little bit faster than I normally do, and but I still took long. Like, I still got, since her puzzles are completely different and they're like different locations for certain weapons and stuff, you know, I got lost, of course. So I beat that run, and then I learned about like I said, going back to what I was saying, if you beat the game under a certain time, you unlock these infinite weapons. Now, I know probably most of you guys already know about this stuff, but it's old news, right? But for me, it's like new. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You get these super weapons with infinite. I'm like, okay, But so I look at it, and they're like, okay, if you beat the game on standard, you get the Samurai's Edge, which is a pistol with a infinite ammo. So what I did was, I'm like, okay, I didn't really think it was possible to beat the game under the recommended time. You know, well, at least normally, because I thought of myself as pretty slow. I'm like, okay, well, I gotta get the unicorn code, I gotta get all this. How am I gonna do this all in time? So what I did was, which probably wasn't necessarily. I mean, I kind of feel bad because maybe I should have figured things out for myself. But what I ended up doing is I went on YouTube and looked up some speedruns. And the reason I felt bad for that was because I know in like in the 90s or in all that stuff, the 80s, people didn't really have guides, like YouTube guides, and I'm kind of like that. Like I feel bad for looking up stuff sometimes when I get stuck on games and stuff, so I feel bad, but like I already played the game, so what's so bad about me looking up tips, like kind of seeing what the speedrunners do and how fast they beat the game, right? So the first dude I watch, he's making a video that kind of explaining, you know, his route. And I'm just watching him, so he's completely like, of course he's super good at the game. You know, he had multiple, probably more. Because you gotta remember, this is I just beat the game, so it ain't like I got multiple playthroughs. I only had like probably 2 times played. And I would say my memory is like really bad when it comes to certain things, like remembering puzzles and stuff. So I'm just watching this. I'm just watching this dude kind of speedrun this game, and he's just making it look so easy. And as I'm watching this, I see he remembers all the puzzle codes and stuff. And what the hell? What? What is happening? Anyways, though, you know, so I see pretty much part of speedrunning is basically remembering every puzzle piece, and it's pretty hard for me because I'm not good at remembering multiple things. So I end up watching this guy and I also see him defeat the first boss just using a knife. Now let me remind you, the first boss kind of kicked my ass at first. What is that? Anyways, he kind of kicked my ass, so I was like, no way you could beat this guy using a knife, right? So after watching a little bit of playthrough, I just watched it halfway, just the PD station, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna practice my runs, and I'm gonna go through the PD station, you know, try to see how fast I can get this just through the PD station. And so I try to be like this guy, right? I go in with a knife and pistol, and to be honest, my first ones kind of sucked. There was a lot of I probably restarted like probably during the day, like, because I play at night, like 1 o'clock in the morning. So through that whole night, probably up to like 4 or 5, which I should have gone to bed because I have stuff to do that affected me, you know, in the morning. What the hell? Oh gosh. Anyway, stuff that affected me in the morning. So I had a lot of fell runs. Like there was times I got grabbed by certain zombies. There were certain things I forget. Like the puzzle. Like I said, going back to my memory being bad, I think I failed the statues that had the medallions in it. Like about like 30 times because I would just forget one of the symbols that I needed to get the medallion. But there's a good thing to that, because from me doing it over and over again, I started to remember like piece by piece, right? So I started being like, okay, for the first code, I don't want to ruin it. I'm sorry if no one played Resident Evil 2 yet. It's been out for a while, so I didn't think of that. I'm so sorry. But there's a statue. Alright, well, anyway, so there's a statue. The first statue. It's like a lion. So what I did was, I'm like, okay, wait a second. I can only remember two symbols, right? So, like, okay, I know the first symbol on that lion statue is the lion itself. Like, the statue is a lion, and the other symbol is a lion too. So the first symbol, you need to get the medallion. So, like, okay, instead of trying to remember the three whole codes, I'm just gonna basically... say, okay, this is lion, and then put in the other code, and then switch to the other code. Because, I mean, the statue is a lion, so I'm like, okay, that'll work, alright? So I did that, and I noticed that started helping me. Now, for the unicorn, I just had to start, I think it's because all my failures and all my failed runs during, during my playthrough, I kind of started to get used to it. So, like, I started to remember that the bottom library door, you needed, what was it? God damn it, I always forget. It was like fish, scorpion on base, or L? I don't know what you call that thing. And I started to remember that. But I only remembered the two, because, like, subconsciously, I started to subconsciously remember the first one, but I wouldn't say it out loud. I would try to mainly focus two ones there. I guess that's the best way you can explain it. I would try to focus on just two of them. And I think from there, like, I will hold basically the image or the thought in the back of my mind for the first one. And I noticed the more I did that, like, each failed run I got, because this went on for multiple days, by the way. This went on, like, for, like, days and days and days of just retries from mess-ups and stuff. So, I just started to get used to it, and I noticed the more I did it every day, the better I got at it. And the more I learned. But there's times, too, where I watched more videos, so I'll look at different speedrunners, see their strats. And I haven't even beat the game on hardcore yet, by the way. This is a standard difficulty, but I feel like I need a break, and I'll get into that at the end of the story. We're not really done yet. So, doing that, I want to go into the spell. Well, anyways, so I will just watch more speedrunners, and it's funny because I started to think of it. I'm like, okay, I'm not really trying to speedrun the game necessarily. I'm just trying to get through stuff the fastest way. So I seen this one dude who made a video. I forgot his name. He has a No Man's Guide, I think it's called. And he's not necessarily speedrunning the game. Because what I would do is I would try to skip as many objects as I can. And I know, like, Resident Evil itself is a very... I'm sorry, like, I should have said this. Maybe maybe I should title this playing about LSD Emulator, talking about because I'm getting away from the topic. I'm cutting a lot of the topic that I wanted to kind of speak about. But I promise this would, if it wasn't from a horrible commentary, I promise this get on track though. Okay. So pretty much, you know, I seen this one dude and he was just doing that. So what I did was, I'm like, okay, so I can just say that I had multiple, like, first thing I was trying to learn how to dodge Mr. X, right? Now, the tyrant Mr. X is fucking annoying, especially trying to learn how to dodge him. Because, you know, when you watch somebody else do it, they make it look easy, right? And you're like, and, oh yeah, let me also say I'm playing on PC, so I'm using a mouse and keyboard. I am not using a controller. So movement's kind of different than, you know, what you would do on a controller where you just maybe press up a little bit and you can kind of, God, that's horrifying. You can kind of just dodge, you know, dodge him. It's kind of just different on keyboard. So, I had multiple takes where, like, I will watch the first speedrunner, the guy who actually speedrunned, the first dude I'll watch, he would just go into the library and fucking, like, grab the lever and stuff like that, right? And I'm over here, I'm like, how's this guy doing it? Because whenever I was trying to do it, right, I would get chased by the fucking liquor, or I would Mr. X, when I put the library thing to move the library desk, Mr. X would just freaking catch up to me by the time, or I would get grabbed by a zombie. Now, the speedrunner guy never got grabbed by a zombie, so I kind of just, like, stopped trying that strat. So, anyways, basically, instead of using the speedrunner strat, I still use some of the tips he's shown in his video, but I kind of mixed it up with the one dude who made the No Man's Guide. And my one run, because one night I'm like, okay, I ran this game so many times, I know what to avoid, I know what I need to skip, I know what I need, right? So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna go with this guy's strat. So he gets the shotgun, he leaves the magnum, but he grabs the shotgun, and he shows you how to pretty much get plenty of hills. So you have plenty of herbs, which I somehow didn't grab all of them, but I basically, you know, I kind of ran out at some point, but I made it through, right? But I ain't the point. So I'll just follow his guide, and I'm kind of freaking out because now I kind of spent hours, you know, and probably you should remember, if anyone can remember that, I said hours. I'm gonna get back into that, but I spent hours studying this game, right? I spent hours studying the speedrunners, studying the mechanics, and all the stuff, what to avoid zombies, and how to avoid zombies, right? And, what I find funny... Oh my god, these guys scare the hell out. I hate these guys. But what I find funny about the whole thing, and I was thinking of this. So pretty much when I get to the end of the game, I'm just gonna skip to the end because I'm gonna be like, there was a lot of times in my run too that I got grabbed because this was the run probably like 2 days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, that I finally beat the game. But the thing is, I was almost over the 2-minute mark because I was actually having good luck for once, and I was able to get past certain enemies and stuff, and I died in the laboratory part so many times. And I thought it was gonna be over, but somehow I made it. I don't even know how. I guess it's because maybe Leon has the extra minutes to his characters when you play as him instead of Claire. So I made it to the lavatory and did all that good stuff, right? And I was freaking out because when I finally defeated the tyrant, and by the way, I did not defeat him with a knife. What? Wait a second. Oh, okay. I thought this was different. Kind of is. But during the last boss, like there's people who just use knives, a knife and a grenade, and I tried that and I got my ass kicked. So what I did was I just did the normal strategy. I kind of hit him with a knife, but then I kind of went with a flamethrower and all that stuff. But anyways, I defeated him. And I was freaked out. I was like, yes, I did it, I did it, I did it. Like, I couldn't believe it, and I don't exactly remember the time I got. It was 1 something, but it was almost close to 2 minutes. And I was pretty happy to defeat him, right? But that goes on to show me. And now, I know it took a long time here, but you remember what I said, I spent hours studying the mechanics of this game? It made me think of something. And I was just thinking about it in the bed. I spent so many hours pretty much studying how this game worked. And I mean, I'm still not that good at it, but I spent so many hours just studying how this freaking whole game works, and really, there's really no benefit to it. Like, I was thinking of this, like, yeah, I enjoyed my run and stuff, but it's kind of funny. I'm like thinking about, there's so many like things I could have learned during that time, right? Because I'm trying to like, I don't know what I'm really doing in life, but I'm trying to learn to code and stuff, I guess. I don't know. That's something I want to do, but I also like music and stuff, so I don't know where I want to go, because coding I get overwhelmed pretty easily with coding and all that bullshit. So, so I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, imagine if I spent this much time learning how to play an instrument. Like, I could have learned how to play a guitar, or I don't even own a guitar. I don't want an electric guitar. I come over here. I could have learned how to, like, probably learn Linux more. I could have learned how to use programming, learn C++ or something, or learn more about how Windows works or something like that. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. That's pretty. Never seen that in my life. Sorry. Anyways, but I'm kind of realizing this. I'm like, imagine if I put this much effort. This how like I went on this game every day when I had time, right? And tried and tried and tried and kept failing, getting mad. But I just restarted it and just kept going. I'm like, imagine if I dedicated that much time. Oh my god, what the hell? We got. I like how the crazy things happen when I'm about to like get to the conclusion of my damn story. Oh, I guess we're waking up for that. But what I'm basically trying to say is that I probably could have learned something more educational and something way more, you know, better. Because at the end of the day, I mean, look, I don't even really own this game, so when my Game Pass goes away, I can't really return to it and just be like, oh hey, oh hey, I'm just gonna use this weapon. And a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't even want to play it for a year. So sometimes I even think about it, like, what was my whole point of doing that, other than maybe for the challenge, or not having any other game to play, huh? So, basically what I'm trying to say is, though, it's kind of funny how, like, in a video game, I enjoyed, like, I guess I enjoyed the game so much that I wanted to basically waste so much time learning how to play a game, which I'm probably going to forget in, like, a month on all the tips I learned and stuff and not even remember anything. But, it's just funny how I wasted so much time with that. And, you know, but at the same time, what sucks is, like, when I'm learning coding and stuff, I just get really bored. You know, like, and what sucks is I want to learn how computers work. Like, I really do. I want to know, the thing is, I want to know everything about a computer. Like, from how the operating system works, from how it boots, like, why does it boot? What's the meaning of everything, you know? What is this, like, I know some things. I know some things that I read and stuff, but, you know, you know, what can be exploited, what can't, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it's pretty much just wanting to know everything about how the computer works, how it interacts with the operating system, and I don't go to college because I don't have the money for that shit. Very poor. Like I said, I'm lucky to even have a computer. You know, I'm not poor, but I'm not like, you know, I'm not wealthy. And like certain events in life prevented me from going to college and stuff, so it's just like I kind of sit here and I just kind of want to learn that. And when I try to ask other people in the community and stuff, like I try to talk to some coders and stuff, be like, hey, I ask them what language, what programming language should I use? Should I learn Java or should I learn like C++, HT? I know HT is like for websites and stuff, and no one really gives me an answer when I ask them certain questions though. Oh, like I'm not asking a person to teach me, but like there's sometimes I have answers to stuff, and it feels like no one fucking really answers them, you know, at all when I ask somebody. And I know most of the people I talk to are online, but still, you know, I would think like if people are making, like for example in VR chat, like I asked some dude about coding, and he kind of didn't really say anything, you know, like kind of just. You know, just tell me, oh, you should, like, I have multiple people who tell me that people always need C++. But then that comes into the point where, as much as I'm interested in it, it's like, every time I try to do it, I just get extremely bored. And, I don't know why. But then, like, sometimes I listen to music, though. This is the other issue, too. I guess this is, like, god damn it. I can't speak today. Procrastinating, if I said that right, procrastinating. Yeah, it's like I have so many ideas in my head. I know a lot of people go through this, right? Because like half of me wants to like, I don't know, write something. Write a book or something, right? And then the other half of me, I listen to music a lot. Like, I think from the moment I wake up or from the moment I go to sleep, I'm listening to some song or something like that. So I'm like, okay, it seems like I'm very into listening to music. I mean, I know at the same time that just because I listen to music doesn't mean like I'm gonna become a musician. But I'm like, I really do like music, and I really like, you know, how you can do. What the fuck? Excuse me? Anyways, I really like what you can do with music and stuff, and I kind of just don't really know what I'm doing with it, you know? Because I also I like so many things, but I just don't know what to do, you know? And it's just sometimes I feel I can work on something, like even making this YouTube video right now. I'm not sure, like I just, oh hell no. But I don't really know what to make content on in a way. I mean, there's games I like. I mostly like weird games and stuff, but I'm just mostly doing basically random stuff on this channel and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just thought this would be something fun to talk about. You know, it's kind of interesting because I guess like, why is that guy everywhere? Anyways, yeah. Yo, this is trippy. Oh my god. Where are you? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anybody goes through that, but I'm trying. I'm not very good at wording stuff. Just, I'm hoping I can get better. I'm better. I'm always better when I'm not talking to myself. I guess I'm better in my mind than I am in physically talking. But yeah, if anybody wants to do more of this, I think I don't want to keep you guys here long. I'm trying to make this video less than 10 minutes, so I'm just probably gonna jump off and end this stream. But yeah, I don't know. But you can tell me in the comments what you think if you want. I don't care. These videos just kind of just to get things off my mind for tonight. And yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys later. Good night or good day. I don't know where you people live.